Hey everyone, it's Rick Carson. We're at the beautiful Make Believe studio. You may have seen our video where we went through and compared some basses, and we found a couple issues with some of our instruments. One of them was our Rickenbacker, which we filmed a video with John Pitts about fixing, and the other one is the Stingray here, which is a new instrument to the studio. It was part of the big lot, and we're keeping this one. And there was one thing that took me quite a bit of time to track down how to actually go about repairing on the internet. And the problem was that there's a lot of conversation about it, but because of dead links on the Ernie Ball forums, which is a great resource, by the way, I wasn't able to track it down without really digging in. Every one that I'd go to would just be a link where someone said, check this out, and then I'd click the link and it wouldn't work, and then it'd be a whole conversation about how it helped everybody solve their problem. So the issue that we're running into is that our high frequency adjust on our 3-band EQ is not detented. The other ones, the middle and the bass, both have solid detents, but the high frequency adjust doesn't. And there could be a couple things that this could be. Maybe the pot broke and someone changed it. But tracking it down, I think I found out the solution, and we are going to try it out. Thankfully, we have all of the original tools for this instrument. They were included in the case, so we have the Allen wrench that we need. And what I believe it is that the pot was turned when the knob was put back on. So what they say on the internet is that, so when it goes into its detent position, it drops down a little bit. And if you have the pot off the detent when you put the knob back on, it can get in a position where it won't be able to come back up. And, you know, I think that's what's going on here. So we're going to remove this knob. Let's go ahead and get our Allen key in there. We've got our knob up, and then yep, right there. It just found its detent position and fell back into place. So now that we have our detent position in place, we are going to go ahead and put this knob back on. And we're going to try and keep this relatively at the same height. We're going to try and keep this relatively at the same height. And we're going to try and make sure that it goes on nice and even so that when you adjust through the knob's turn, it doesn't seem off balance. And that seems great to me. Let me just make sure that that's tight. And this one is in its detent position. Oh, actually, I'm going to change this. All of their detent positions are pointing upwards, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to point this. All of the knobs have their Allen screws pointed towards noon in the detent position. So we're just going to follow that on this one here. Of course, I'm having way more trouble getting the Allen. Make sure that's pretty cranked down. Boom, feels good. So now that we've taken care of that, that is how you go about fixing the detent if you find an Ernie Ball Stingray with a 3-band EQ that doesn't have detents. The 2-band EQ never came with detents, and you can also set up your 3-band EQ to work that way. So if you don't want to be, stuck getting used to finding that detent, or you feel like it stops you from having a nice travel through rolling up your tone knobs, you can go and set your instrument up so that the detents are gone and they are just continuous, turns on the potentiometer by going and turning the potentiometer with the knob off and then setting the knob so that it never actually falls back into place. Thanks again for watching, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day.